Madison was 23 when she walked into that classroom for the first time. She carried herself with quiet grace, but the air shifted the moment she arrived. To the others, she wasn't just a new student, she was different. Her clothes were modest, her silence unsettling. Within hours, assumptions took root. She must be Muslim. What began as whispers quickly turned into snickers. At lunch, no one invited her to sit. In the cafeteria, she carried her tray like a burden, always ending up alone at the far end of a table. By the second week, it had grown worse. Girls laughed about her clothes, boys muttered crude comments, and yet no one, not one person, sat beside her. Even when the teacher tried to make her feel welcome, the message was clear. She wasn't wanted. Madison never answered back. She absorbed it quietly, her silence heavier than any words. Each night, she stared out her dorm window, whispering to herself, "Hold on. Just hold on." But each morning, walking into class felt like stepping into a battlefield where the weapons were laughter, glances, and cruel indifference. Weeks bled together. Madison's loneliness became routine. Others gossiped under the trees, played ball in the courtyard, and gathered in cheerful circles. She was always outside of the circle, never within it. Her silence reflected their cruelty back at them, though none of them dared to see it. But time was ticking, and the truth was waiting. Then, on the morning everything was to be revealed, Madison walked into the classroom looking different. Gone was the plain, modest outfit. Gone was the scarf that had covered her hair for weeks. Instead, Madison wore a stylish dress, her hair loose, her presence striking in a way that froze the room. She didn't look like the quiet outsider they had spent a month mocking. She looked like she belonged, like she had never been the stranger they imagined. A wave of shock rippled through the students. Eyes widened. Whispers rushed from one desk to another. Who is she? Why does she look so different today? It was in that stunned silence that the door opened. A man stepped in, carrying a notepad. His voice cut through the air with calm authority. "Good morning. My name is Daniel. I'm a reporter, and I need to tell you the truth about Madison." The classroom froze. For the past month, Madison has been part of a social experiment. She wasn't here to study, but to show you something about yourselves. She was asked to live among you, posing as a Muslim student, to test how you would treat someone you believed was different. Gasps broke out. Chairs scraped. Daniel's voice grew harder. "And every single one of you failed. You mocked her. You excluded her. You left her alone. You reduced her to nothing more than a label." He paused, letting the silence punish them more than his words. Then he delivered the final blow. "And here's the truth you couldn't see. Madison isn't Muslim at all. She's Christian. She could be anyone, your friend, your neighbor, your sister, and yet you judged her, humiliated her, without ever knowing who she really was." The classroom was a graveyard of guilt. Girls covered their mouths, boys bowed their heads. The same voices that had once laughed now trembled with regret. Madison sat in silence, watching them crumble under the weight of truth. For the first time, their eyes saw her. Not the scarf, not the difference, but her. She felt her chest tighten as tears threatened to rise, but she held them back. "So this is what it takes for them to see me. Not my kindness, not my silence, but the absence of a scarf. One piece of cloth decided whether I was human enough for them. One symbol turned me into an outsider. And now, stripped of it, I'm suddenly one of them. How fragile their acceptance is. How shallow." Madison glanced at their faces, pale with shame. But maybe this shame is the beginning. Maybe this is the moment they finally learn that humanity is never defined by what someone wears or what someone believes, but by the heart beating inside.